Hello community, welcome to the Marrakesh 100% competition review. Starting with this map, it's really not as big as most people think. It's a lot more of a medium map. It's really not as big as you think, that's what she said. And outside of like the main area where you have your shisha cafe, you have your sort of main area with the carpets and the food leading into the consulate building. It's really not that many things going on. It's mostly dead ends, alleys that lead to dead ends, and really not that much. But one thing I have to say in particular is also it's very underdeveloped. I always thought this map was mostly sort of well made and just had a few here and there sort of like underdeveloped parts. But until I did a full 100% competition review and I fully did the exploration for it, I never realized just how underdeveloped it is, and we're about to get into that right now. Starting with the consulate building, it only allows you to enter from either the left, entering into the garage area, or you can go from the front, but you need both the skies, and also you can get spotted from the cameras, so you have to deal with that. And also, there are enforcer cops that are on the stairs that are gonna search you, so that's another problem. So overall, the front is not really an option for most players, no matter what you're doing. It's always gonna be the left area of the garage. And on the right area, there is a door that you can unlock with a key card, but there's no point because once you get in it, there really isn't anywhere to go. Like, there is no way from the right to enter the consulate building. As you can see right now from this picture on the right, it is very underdeveloped. Like, they made this whole area inaccessible to most players, which is so ridiculous. Because if they had given us over here some sort of a ladder or some sort of an apartment shimmy across to the consulate building, just give us something for us to be able to make our way in, that would have made the consulate building so much better. But as it stands right now, it's very, very limited. And it has another problem as well. And that other problem is that once you get in it, it's not exactly well made. Because I fully understand the logic of being a trespassing area on the outside because there's riots. However, once you get in, there's no reason for any janitors or any cops to come up to you and tell you, hey, you don't belong here, you need to get out of here. That makes no sense. It's insane. Because there's so many different people that are in the consulate buildings. There's no way every single cop knows every single person who's there. That's ridiculous. If you're in there with a suit, chances are you belong there, so that's stupid. And also, I can understand it being a fully trespassing area if they allowed us to traverse it a little bit better, if they allowed it to sort of be designed in a way where you can traverse it in a way that's manageable. But as it stands right now, it is extremely overcrowded with guards, with NPCs. It's very difficult to maneuver, to say the least. And it's very restrictive and it's very limiting. And above everything else, honestly, most than anything, it's just fucking hopeless, man. It's a hopeless building, honestly. And the tunnels that lead across to the school area, they more or less, the less said about them the better, because they're no good, to be fair. I don't think that they're any quicker than just getting out and just going on foot, just running around the city. I think you're probably gonna get quicker instead of trying to go from the tunnels anyways. And overall, once you get to the school zone, now we have a completely different monster to deal with, because this time the only way to get in is from the right. You could technically sneak your way in through the left, through this little window that you see, but the problem is, through the left, it's not only is there a lot of guards, but there's no way to really get where you need to go, because the geniuses decided to put staircase on the left part, literally right on the left, but they decided to block it. They decided to fuck it, your one chance to make this fucking thing useful, and they decided to block it. So they literally decided, no, you cannot have more than one way of getting into this building. You're either gonna go on the right, or you're not getting in. And that's what they did. They blocked it and they decided, nope, we're gonna overfill it with guards, and you're not gonna be able to get in either from the center or from the left. So you're restricted only to the right. The back part of it, as you can see right now, is a fucking joke. Completely underdeveloped, completely unfinished. Just sort of left out to simmer, and maybe eventually we're gonna add something here, but overall, as you see right now, this looks like something from an early alpha. This doesn't look finished at all. It looks like the GTA 6 leaks. It looks like it's in development, to say the least. And right now, when we have this is the left area that you see here. This is completely inaccessible from the outside. You have to enter the building first and then make your way to the left, which is extremely stupid. And you can sort of shimmy across on the ledge and sort of like get through a window. But overall, there really isn't any reason to do that. Like, there's no point in doing any of it. It is really, really hopeless in that point as well. And overall, like, the school area in total, just like the consulate building, is extremely restricted when it comes to everything. The trespassing zone is extremely restricting, but also the limit of freedom of approach. You have one way to get in, one way to get out. That's it. There's no other options. There's no alternatives. It's just one way to do anything, and that is just awful in my opinion. And when you go to the other place, go to the Shisha Cafe, you can see it's very bare bones. Most of the map is very bare bones, but they do have a cool idea over here with the rooftops. The way they've created the rooftops is very interesting, and the way you can sort of parkour in between them. Sadly, it's no Chongqing. You can't really make your way across the map just going from the rooftops, which if they had done that, in my opinion, the map would have been at least more fun. It would have been more enjoyable. But as it stands right now, it really is kind of hopeless. And also, another thing is they added a bunch of sewers right outside the consulate building, a bunch of sewage. If they were just to add some sort of a sewer system where 47 could just get into the sewers and then make its way into the consulate building, just give us some sort of an alternative way of getting in there, that again would have made it better, but you can see that it's rushed. Like the entire map is just clearly rushed, clearly left unfinished. And the best score I can give it is a 4 out of 10. There's no redeeming qualities to give this map anything better than that. Every single area is either unfinished or it's, as it stands right now, very, very restricted, very limited in freedom of approach no matter what you're doing, and overall completely fucking hopeless. Next up, we're off to the targets, and I'm gonna start with Klaus Stramberg. I don't think anybody necessarily is struggling to isolate or kill Klaus Stramberg. He's a very, very simple target. A simple coin lure and you can garrote him, you can pistol eliminate him, you can shove him off the balcony, you can electrocute him, you can snipe him from long range, you can move him around and do different things. All of that suit only, all of that silent assassin. It's a pretty decent target to say the least. And Reza Zaydan also, I mean, you can move him around, you can also poison Reza Zaydan very, very easily. You can shoot him with a sniper rifle, keep your silent assassin from long range. You can move him around with the radio lure. You can isolate him very, very easily. You can just shoot the toilet then when he goes to yell at the soldiers, kill him like that. Overall, both targets are not only very movable, but they're very simple, they're very isolatable, they're very doable and maneuverable. It's one of those things, sadly, that the map kind of fails the targets. They are forced to be around these horrible areas that are very difficult to maneuver, and that's what can make them a little hard. But the targets themselves are not difficult. They have a lot of ways for you to deal with them. So the best score I can give them, honestly, is a 7 out of 10. That's the best. And I can't give them anything lower, but I can't give them anything higher, because having to face those absolutely awful areas, that's about all I can give them, sadly. Next up, we're off to the challenges. This is straight shots and stuff like that. This is all simple stuff. I don't have to explain this. But over here, 7 years of bad luck. This will require a contract. You're gonna have to look for a contract online if you want to do this. It's a very ridiculous challenge. It's a very stupid challenge, but it is necessary to go and look for a contract. Otherwise, there's no way you can do this. And Pipe Dreams, you can do this. I believe you can do this from the DLC mission, House Built on Sand. But you can also do it with a contract. Whatever you like, whichever one you prefer, you can do it that way. It's up to you. This is a mission story. A room with a moose, mission story. There's a moose, you just have to shoot it. It's gonna fall on him during the interview. In terms of fares, another mission story where you have to get this guy's disguise. This guy's roaming Marrakesh streets. Chances are if you just roam a little bit, you will find him. He's pretty easy to spot. Dance to you drop. For this one, you're gonna have to get the red beret disguise, and you have to dismiss all of the soldiers. And then after you dismiss them, you're gonna go where the two soldiers that are trash talking Zaydan, and you're gonna turn on the radio, and everybody's gonna start dancing. It's a very cool Easter egg. Poison. This is simple. You gotta poison his food. Very easy to do. Bathroom break. Very easy. You know, as I said, you push the buttons where the guys are trash talking him. He's gonna go in the room to tell them off, and when he goes into the room to basically, you know, yell at them, you can just shoot the toilet, or you can manually kick it, but I would say just shoot it and it's gonna fall on his head. It's actually very easy. Drama Queen, very simple. With the explosion during the interview, it's a mission story. Personal Vendetta, again, this is not necessarily a mission story, but all you have to do is get the disguise. The disguise is on the first floor on the left side. It's pretty easy to find, actually. The Headmaster's Revenge, this is very simple. Everybody knows what the Headmaster is. 50 Syndrome. This may take a little bit because you're gonna have to get them both together. You're gonna have to evacuate Klaus Stramberg. You're gonna have to, like, just get the guards to either panic or just... what I like to do is I like to shoot the fire exit. And everybody's gonna panic, so that's one way of doing it. Electrified. Use a screwdriver or just shoot this thing and then get the voltage. There's a room where you get the voltage up, and when he touches the fence, it's gonna electrocute him when he does that. And the room is literally... as you enter this area, right to the left, you're gonna find the room. It's very easy to find. Don't blow it. This is very time-taking. You're gonna have to get both on the phone call for them to meet up, and then you have to set them alight. In the middle of the tunnels is where this takes place to do this, and that's how you do it. Oil lamp, I believe this is also in the tunnels. You're gonna have to shoot it in the tunnels, and that's how you take them out. Don't use it on This Is a Mission story. Drowning Your Sorrows. You're just gonna use any emetic device on Klaus Stramberg and then kill him that way. It's pretty simple. And tunnel vision, again, this is in the tunnels. It's how you do this. It's very simple. Discover Mumbai, Marrakesh, I mean. Looking through walls. This is all regular stuff, disguises. Courtyard Club membership, this is not difficult to find. Floor, the keys for this car, it's in one of the rooms in the first floor of the Swedish consulate. That's where we're gonna find the keys for the car. The scenic route, you're just gonna dress as a soldier and you're gonna go around basically looking at the paintings, and that's gonna do it. The army truck, this is just an escape. Fortune teller, this is just a disguises from here. Disguises are pretty simple. Is it safe? This is a part of the mission story. Back to school, this is where the headmaster is, very simple. The final tunnel entrance, there's multiple tunnel entrances as far as I know. One from one leading from, you know, the consulate into the tunnels, and then another from the shop to the tunnels. So there's two ways you can do this, I guess. And this is simple, you just have to not get spotted, it's not difficult. Wishing well, this 5 bodies into wall. This is another stupid challenge. It's completely unnecessary and completely ridiculous, and there's no reason for it, but it is what it is. For this, you're gonna have to use rat or a medic poison can work as well, to just poison this guy's water bottle, and that's how you get rid of him. It's an unnecessary challenge. It's stupid and it makes no sense. 6 coins. So you're gonna have to find a bunch of coins. Maybe bring your own coins, but also find a bunch of coins and throw it into the fountain. Begging for it, you're gonna have to basically find a bunch of coins and then give them to the beggar. I believe it's 6 coins you gotta give him, and a bunch of stuff's gonna happen. He's gonna move to a different location where you can take him out. A slam dunk, there's a certain balls that you're gonna be throwing into this court. This is on the left side of the school area is where this basketball court is, and that's also where you're gonna find the balls to dunk. Mission story. It's 8 balls, by the way, it's not basketballs, it's 8 balls. And mission story. And with that, yeah, we're done with the challenges. Overall, the challenges, in my personal opinion, there's not that many of them, but some of them are really unnecessary and really stupid. I would give them, honestly, like a 5 out of 10. I think they're average at best, because there really are some shitty ones, but most of them are not too bad. Next up, we're off to the mastery, and I select proximity explosive. About as useless as you can go. Proximity explosive is never good. I would say the best explosive you can get if you want a general explosive to just blow shit up, it's probably the remote micro explosive, but this is proximity, so that's instant, and I would highly advise against it. Unless you know what you're doing, most of the time this is a disaster. You're gonna lose self-assassin every time. It's not worth it whatsoever. I say 19. This is an unsilenced pistol. I don't have to say anything other than that. Emetic poison vial, this can be useful. Now, the seeker, the emetic briefcase, and also the emetic grenade are all gonna be better than the emetic poison vial. However, this can be useful for certain situations, like for example, the Nolan Cassidy house, poisoning everybody inside and getting in. This could be useful. This could be useful for certain situations, but it is more or less niche at this point in Hitman. Remote explosive rubber duck. Some people can do great things with rubber duck. I'm not one of those people, but even if you are someone who can do extremely cool things with rubber ducks, we've had so many rubber ducks in the game already that I truly don't think this is that big of a deal. Like, we've had so many explosive rubber ducks by this point. We have countless amounts of remote explosive rubber ducks. So yeah, not maybe cool unlock for some people, but it's not rare. This is just a little melee. It's cool looking, but it's not that great really for anything. Just a little melee. This is a shotgun that's about, if you want to kill people, that's your shotgun, but it's not a Hitman weapon in any way. CX demo, beyond useless. Again, another assault rifle, but this time it's a silenced assault rifle. Again, since it is an assault rifle, unless you want to kill everybody, this is no good, this is no use, and it's not, it straight up is gonna do you no good. And this crystal ball, I'm pretty sure it breaks when you throw it. When you throw it, I think it breaks pretty much immediately. You get one throw, so it's literally the most useless non-lethal melee you could ever bring on a mission with you. Overall, the unlocks are, in my opinion, personally, a 2 out of 10. Everything is useless for the most part, other than maybe the remote rubber duck and the emetic poison vial. But even they are so niche, and like so little people are gonna be able to probably use them in an optimal way. Everything else is just unoptimal, unuseful, unneeding, just bad, honestly. And that's the best I can give it, is a 2. I mean, it's not worth anything more than that. And finally, we're off to the stability section, and I have to say the one good thing about Hitman 1 maps in particular is that ever since 2016 I has had a lot of time to work on them, as far as at least ironing out any bugs, any issues, any problems with them. So overall, I have no problem giving it a 10 out of 10. I did not personally experience any problems or issues playing through Marrakesh. I looked online, I wasn't able to find anybody who has any like crazy problems or issues with Marrakesh either. So I have no problem giving it a 10 out of 10. And overall, when we come to the final score, we combine all of the numbers together and we end up with a 2.8 out of 5.
You done fucked it up!
And with that, we've come to the end of the video, but before you leave, I'm gonna need you to get a Ducati and an extra cheap Biscotti, because the next time we see each other, we'll be discovering the absolutely beautiful town of Sapienza in Italy. Until that day comes, however, please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content, and more than anything else, thank you very much for watching.